Thousands of people marched through the streets of Chicago and throughout the world during the Women's March. It was estimated that 250 people, or 250,000 people, let me correct myself, poured into downtown Chicago. And joining us this morning to talk about the success of this march would be the co-chairs, Ann Scholhamer and March Speaker Jaquie Algee. Thank you so much for joining us both this morning.
Thank you.
First of all, let me just get both of your reactions to the amount of people that showed up yesterday.
Just, I'm thankful, amazed, astounded at the turnout, but quite frankly, not also surprised, because women have expressed a need, and were expressing a need throughout the weeks of planning to be on the streets of Chicago and throughout this country. So,
but you guys knew it was going to be big, but seriously,
but not that
right?
big. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think you can be prepared for something to be, 3 or 4 times bigger than.
And it was an interesting crowd because it was a very peaceful march, which was your goal in putting this together.
Absolutely.
And I have to ask you, because a lot of people who was watching the Twitter and social media feeds, and there were a lot of people who were saying, "Why bother? This is not going to make a difference."
I absolutely think it made a difference because most of those marchers were first-time marchers. They were families. They were people who had never stepped out of their comfort zone before. Maybe they've done work in their community, but now they're ready to act on a bigger level.
That's right. And we brought people together, women in particular, again, as Ann's describing, from all a variety of backgrounds and, both economic and social backgrounds, as well as communities. And so,
and families and children.
Families and children, yes.
And this march, you guys, your goal with this march, well, first of all, you hit your first goal. You had this amazing march, an incredible turnout. Goal number 2, if I recall, is that you want this to be a springboard. Tell us about that.
That is correct.
Yeah, absolutely. We want people to get activated in their communities, and we want people to participate in things that are meaningful to them, that they found maybe someone to speak about. My feeling after the march yesterday, with how incredibly peaceful it was, what I came away with was, if it was 200,000 women that looked like Jaquie, would the reaction by the city and the police have been the same as if it was the families that were there yesterday? And until we can get to that point where we can have us join them, and make those differences so that everyone's treated fairly within our system, I think that's when I'll feel like it's.
And I would just add to what Ann is saying, Sylvia, is that was one of the goals in the planning of the march, and the inclusiveness of all of our communities and the diversity of our communities. And so I would say that we will now take what happened yesterday, the momentum, the opportunity to be heard, seen, and supported, to the streets of Chicago, throughout the South Side, West Side, and otherwise.
Now, I want to talk to you about how we can, you want women to go about doing that, but what do you have to say to people who were angry at the march yesterday? There were some people who were not happy. Some women were saying, they're not representing me. Some other people were saying, they're marching for what? What's the goal? Why? What do you have to say to those people? Because there is a large group of people, too, that were not happy about this march.
I would say that we're saying that you're included, whether you want to be or not. If you're part of the female population, which was so, I guess you'd say, disrespected and just not included throughout the campaign rhetoric of this past presidential election, to know that you are included. And whether you want to or not, no, we're not trying to speak for everyone, but please know that you are included.
Okay, and finally, one recommendation for that springboard to get women to get involved. What do you want to see?
I want to see people activate in their communities. I want them. There's some things in the planning works with other there's organizations that have deep roots in Chicago that do activism.
That's right.
And also put together places where people can come learn about that. So people should continue to follow our Facebook page and our webpage to find out about volunteer fairs. So like a job fair.
Okay.
What do you want to get involved in?
And tell us again the website.
It's womensmarchonchicago.com. .com.org, just about everything.
Yeah, okay. Well, you guys deserve to go home and rest and enjoy the rest of your Sunday, because mission accomplished. You got
Mission one.
Yes.
Thank you.
And we so appreciate
That's absolutely right.
And we so appreciate you coming in this morning.
Thank you for having us.
Mark,